All right, everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. You know why we're here. Outer Banks, Season 4. That trailer, we're going in deep.
Yeah, and I have a feeling this season's going to be a wild ride.
You can say that again. I mean, just that first shot of the Pogues, it's like they're living the dream, right? Poguelandia 2.0.
Right, total paradise. Well, for the Outer Banks, at least.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Idyllic little start, everyone's happy. But come on, we've all seen the show.
Right. You know things are going to go sideways any minute. It's like the calm before the storm.
And speaking of storms, Blackbeard's treasure, that's back in play, full force.
Of course it is. The legend lives on. But tell me, do you really think these Pogues could resist a treasure hunt?
I mean, come on, it's practically in their blood at this point. But I did think maybe, just maybe, that charter business might have changed things. You know, give them a taste of normal life.
Normal. Never gonna happen. Especially when you're a Pogue. Besides, did you see how that boat was put together?
Okay, valid point. Let's be real, those Pogues and their money never last long. But something tells me this season isn't just about the gold.
You're picking up on it too, huh? That undercurrent of grief. Man, John B. and Sarah, what they went through.
Right. Losing their fathers, that's got to weigh heavily on them.
Absolutely. Those scars run deep. Trauma like that, it changes you. Especially at that age.
No kidding. I can barely handle a parking ticket. Speaking of not handling things well, what about JJ? Did you see him in that trailer?
Oh boy, yeah. Smashing through that storefront. He's like a coiled spring ready to snap.
That's what worries me. He's always been the impulsive one, but this feels different. Darker.
I hear you. It's like whatever's simmering under the surface is about to boil over.
And you know what? It wouldn't be Outer Banks without throwing some new faces into the mix.
Right. Gotta love a good shakeup.
For real. And these new characters, they're definitely bringing the intrigue. First, there's Chandler Groff. He's like this whole new mentor figure. But something about him.
I know. Total wild card. Like, is he there to help? Or is he just using the Pogues for his own gain?
Yeah. And then there's Dahlia. Talk about a force of nature. She seems as she's leading some kind of movement.
Right. She's definitely got that revolutionary vibe. Like she's not afraid to challenge the status quo.
The Outer Banks just got a whole lot more interesting.
You can say that again.
So we've got Blackbeard's treasure back on the table, emotional baggage galore, and now these new characters with their own agendas. Where do you even begin to unpack all that?
Honestly, I have no idea. But I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. It's, like he said, darker. And with everything else going on, it makes you wonder, is this going to bring the Pogues closer? Or tear them apart?
It's the age-old question, right? The treasure, the drama, does it make them stronger? Or break them?
Right, because we've seen both sides of that coin with this crew.
Totally. They've got each other's backs. Yeah. Always. But they also drive each other crazy.
And let's be real, they're not exactly known for making rational decisions, are they?
Especially when Blackbeard's gold is involved.
Exactly. That treasure, it's like a magnet for trouble.
And speaking of trouble, these new characters, Groff and Dahlia, do they change the game completely?
I think they add a whole other level of complexity, that's for sure.
Groff, he just screams untrustworthy, doesn't he?
Right, like what's his real motivation here? Is he really trying to help the Pogues?
And Dahlia, she's a whole different story.
She's a force to be reckoned with, that's for sure.
Definitely. She's got this intensity, like she's fighting for something bigger than herself.
It's almost like the Pogues are caught in the middle of something much larger this time.
Right. It's not just about the treasure anymore. There's this whole other layer of conflict brewing.
And knowing the Outer Banks, those conflicts tend to get messy.
You can say that again. So we've got all the classic Outer Banks ingredients. Treasure, drama, danger. But it feels like the stakes are higher than ever this time around.
For sure. And with those stakes come tough choices. Choices that could change everything for the Pogues.
Do you think they're ready for that?
That's the big question, isn't it? Are they ready to face the consequences of their actions?
I don't know about you, but I am seriously feeling the pressure just thinking about it. And those consequences, they always seem to hit the Pogues the hardest.
Right. It's like they're always caught in the crossfire no matter what they do.
Exactly. So you've got these external forces, but then there's also the internal struggle, right? Trying to hold on to who they are, who they want to be in the middle of all this chaos.
Absolutely. It's a constant push and pull. And honestly, that's what makes this show so compelling. You've got the adventure, the treasure, all that good stuff.
Right.
But at its core, it's about these characters, these relationships, and how they navigate those choppy waters.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's about family, chosen family, sure, but family nonetheless.
Exactly. And like any family, they've got their ups and downs. but they always have each other's backs when it counts. At least, we hope so.
That's what we're all dying to know, right? Will the Pogues sink or swim in season 4?
Only time will tell. But I have a feeling it's going to be one heck of a ride.
You know it. Well, that about wraps up our deep dive into the Outer Banks Season 4 trailer. Huge thanks to you for breaking it all down with me.
Anytime. Always a pleasure to talk Pogues with a fellow fan.
Now, for all you listeners out there, don't forget to let us know what you think. What are your predictions for this season? Who do you think will crack under pressure? Hit us up on social media and keep the conversation going. We'll be back soon with even more Outer Banks breakdowns, theories, and maybe even a few wild speculations. Until then, Pogues out.